Hello, Boss Babes! I am so happy to meet all of you yet for another amazing episode at Baltic Boss Babes. And in this episode today, we have an amazing female founder, Boss Babe from Estonia, Jana Budkovskaja. She's a CEO of Beamline Accelerator and a force in the Cleantech world. With over a decade of experience, Jana is reshaping the future by helping startups access capital and scale sustainable innovations. Her journey includes leading Proton Fund, co-founding Object, an innovation hub in Estonia, and working on a PhD in innovation and sustainability. Join us today to explore how Jana's vision and expertise are driving change and empowering tech to make a lasting impact. Hi, Jana. It's such a pleasure to have you here today.
Hello, nice to be here, really.
Let's dive right in. You have such an amazing and really impressive CV. Would you mind telling us your journey a little bit? How did you end up where you are today? What are kind of the pivotal points in your career that made Jana that you are today?
It is always a very long story, of course, but to make it really short, started from a very, very boring way from the school, university, institute. Then I somehow, maybe what was one of the challenging and pivoting at that time, I undertook the position as the project manager. At that time, I didn't know what it was exactly, but before that, I was working already in 2 different workplaces, and this project management, they offered me the salary like basically twice bigger than I was earning on these 2 places. I just decided to say yes. And then I understood that this was a critical, and I always suggest everyone just say yes, especially if you don't know what does it mean, because it will be fun. So it was my first step, so-called good girl from the institute. I was working in the university, in the Institute of Ecology. So how I ended up and started to work with finances, with some kind of strategic management. Then it just was already history. Then I helped municipalities, then I helped regional development authorities, government. Then I, founded my own places where I thought that this is bottleneck for the society or for the community. So I just doing it. And now I think it's, again, a super cool opportunity for me to lead this amazing Cleantech accelerator and make it really rock and help the not only startup ecosystem, but also the whole world with all these climate challenges. So I don't know. It's again, you say yes and you just go.
It's like Richard Branson said, say yes to whatever opportunity you have and then figure out how to do that later.
Exactly.
Yeah, you seem like a leap taker, starting to jump and then like, oh, maybe I should have taken parachute. Oh, well, I'm going to figure it out on the way. If we are looking around the ecosystem, clean tech, especially because most of the time it's really based in technology, is not so crowded with women, but unfortunately. But if you could point out several of them or even 1 or 2 that have been kind of influential for you, could you name some and how did they help you go through your journey and make things happen, basically?
I think that I'm super fortunate in this life, and I'm always surrounded by women and men who one or another way support me. It was absolutely always from when I was already a little bit more active than average or normal person in the school till the university and all my workplaces. I met women who really supported. And the main advice or what I really needed always, what I remember until now when I'm in my low phases is I learned from women who already achieved something, how basically, I'm really sorry to say into this super beautiful mic, how not to give a fuck. And this is because a lot of other stuff you can learn from all others. You can learn it from the books, you can learn it from your male colleagues, you can learn, but this is how in the normal language, how one woman can say you, why you bother? Why you think about it? Just forget, just go on, just, I don't know, finish it and throw it away and just move on. I would say that today I'm super happy to call my friends. I would say the major women who are now running or who are basically shaping the startup community in the Baltics. Sandra from the Baltic Sandbox Ventures, Lina Las from Estonia, from the Better Fund. These are the girls who are really, I would say they're the powerhouses of everything what's going on here. And then there were all of the women with whom I was working. I was fortunate to work side by side with one of the board members from the Swedbank, Lizzie Himma. She taught me a lot. I don't know, really. I can name basically everyone who is now here. And even if we are not the close friends, but I follow them in LinkedIn, or, you meet the woman during the conferences and you still have chit chat, and it's already very influenceable. And of course, what I see that the time in the community and the time in your life is also requires different people. So it's again, be a little bit more open-minded. Just listen what people are talking about. Maybe they're talking from the stages, or they're talking from their LinkedIn feed, or they're talking via the articles. Those ones who are maybe a little bit further than you, or going side by side, or going a little bit different path, they always can teach you something. So I would say this gratitude for all the women out there.
And basically, what she's saying that you are fortunate that because you're listening to Jana right now as well, and if you can pick up something that's valuable to you, definitely do. Amazing. We always talk about how interesting is the approach of women leadership. Usually, if we go into business environment, there are these two types of women. The one who are like more manly and they have kind of gotten used to operating in the masculine style, and then there are the female ones that are making like super crazy decisions and then actually bringing the company on top of everything. I'm curious, have you made, and what would be the one most unconventional decision that you did in your career that affect your success for the good or for the bad? Is there something that you can look back to and thought that people would be like, oh my God, she's definitely crazy?
I hope that from one hand, people who don't know me very well, they think that I'm crazy, and this is good. It's even eliminate some of the boring people to come closer. From other hand, those who knows me very well, they know that I struggle always with the not challenging, but with the decisions where I know I will be stepping in on some emotions. There will be maybe not easy way. It will be not comfortable decision. It will not be pleasant decision where we should like overcome some obstacles. Those ones with whom I talk about it, they know that I struggle. They know that I take courage. I really take time, and I really try to think and take into consideration all of the parts and all of the sides. And this is what I mentioned about this masculine, and or some about the women who are making hard decisions. I think it's hard for everyone. It's not dependent on men or women. Leadership or management, the only basically what the manager or leader should do, he or she needs to make decisions. When it's everything, is blooming and a lot of money, everything is fun, it's very easy to make decisions. Oh, let's buy ping pong table. Yoo-hoo! Let's put ice cream into the office. Yoo-hoo! But when it's necessary to make cutoffs, when it's necessary to make negotiations about the decreases of salaries, when it's necessary to make really unpopular decisions, then it's always hard for everyone. And I think that the good leader is not the one who is making a good decision, but the one who is making decision. And this is extremely, extremely important distinguish, because I think, and I'm truly believer that the only problems come in life in all of the layers, starting from political situation until the, hyperlocal community, and let's go to the family level or even the personal life. Bad decision is million times better than no decision. To keep the status quo, it means that everyone is distracted, everyone is anxious, because there's no future. Mm-hmm. There is nothing you can catch, there is nothing you can build your plans on. So whatever you make for, like, if you go the same way crazy, or you feel that now you want to do something like really extreme and not something which is everyone expects from you, or even you expect from yourself, yeah, just go. Do not be in this position that, oh, I cannot decide because I don't know how it will influence. You never know. This is the truth. This is what I've learned on my, basically I was organizing, also my absolute gratitude for absolutely wonderful person. He's a professor from the Stockholm School of Economics, Peter Zashev, and once I organized a boot camp for the future media like managers. I was just an organizer. But I somehow stayed. Because I've heard so much about the Peter, so I stayed to his lecture, and he said that the only certain in all of the business and everywhere in the management is that everything is uncertain. So, and if there is a decision, it's at least something, some kind of a stone, something. Because however you plan financials, people's behavior, feedback, it will never ever happen as you plan. Never ever. There will be always something. I don't know. There will be snow or there will be sun. Something will happen. So just go and just do it. And this is what sometimes because women are thinking too much about how others think about themselves. Let's come back again. How all of these brilliant women tell me, don't care. No one cares about it. The next one, we think too much about, oh, if I make this decision, I will be bad.
Yeah.
Oh, it's also true forever. Girls, women, everyone, boys also. As you will be a leader, you will be always bad. Like forever. Even if you're now nice, as soon as you make a little bit uncomfortable or a little bit another decision what you're expected to do, you will be bad immediately. So it's better to be not the best one already a little bit earlier, but force it.
I think that the trick here is to kind of find this comfort in this discomfort. Funnily enough, I have Instagram page that I follow. Okay, that's regarding travel, but I mean, the idea is the same, finding comfort in discomfort. So basically, if you are thinking about becoming a leader or you actually feel like this fulfills you, you have to become comfortable in these uncomfortable situations. It just has to become something. It doesn't mean that you don't care. It doesn't mean that you are kind of evil or dead inside, but it's just you are okay with yourself first because you're making this decision. Because of course you have thought about it yourself, the company, people around, everything, and you are making an informed, hopefully, a decision most of the times. And this will be about this not caring about what other thing. And that doesn't mean that you are egoistic or selfish or whatever.
No, it's not ignorance.
Exactly.
But again, I have heard about such ideas about to become comfortable. But for example, I was doing a triathlon, and it's never ever comfortable to go into the cold water. Never ever. I mean, it's every time it's uncomfortable. Every time you are freezing. But you know that when you swim, when you run, then you will get your endorphins. Then you, as you mentioned, fulfilling.
Yeah.
Then it will be better. So going through the pain, it's uncomfortable. It will be forever uncomfortable. But you know the gains, but you know why you do it. And that's why, again, the keeping the status quo and keeping this like, oh, I want to be good. I don't want to be unpopular. Oh, it's so uncomfortable. Oh, I am so afraid of, I will be, okay, better this not very good opportunity than, I don't know, some uncertainty. No, it's always better to make a step, to feel the pain, to understand why you feel the pain. That you're feeling the pain because you're escaping from not good company, not good relationship, not good attitude to yourself, and you just stepping out from this. Yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, it will. It will never ever. You cannot put pain into habit. Never ever.
True.
But you know how you, and this is also important, that if there is a pain, you will overcome it because of later it will be better, or then you know how you deal with it, but it will be there. Nothing to do.
True. I mean, we can go into real deep psychology
Yes.
here. Why and what is difficult and painful, but yeah, definitely. And I mean, of course, usually a little bit more comforting when you have team around that actually can understand you, not necessarily support this crazy painful decision, but they trust you enough that they say, I realize that, let's say, the leader of the team has gotten so well around his team or her team that the team is already saying, okay, we trust you with this decision because we know that you have thought of everything. And if it is painful and it has to be now, that we are okay with it. And that also is kind of this not really pampering factor, but like this cushion thing, something more comfortable in this uncomfortable situation. So yeah, definitely.
And I think again that, for example, women, I would say that they are very often much better in this condition, what you have just described. And we can call it like inclusiveness.
Yes.
Or inclusion, that you basically not always should drag the whole team into the making the decision, because by the end of the day, it's the job of the manager. But you include everyone, for example, to make a research.
True.
To check what are the options. So everyone could understand that, yeah, there is some kind, as you told, that there is the situation. We can understand that. So yeah, I believe that the women are very good in this. It's like because communication skills are much better. If mom can, I don't know, toddler to eat the oatmeal or broccoli, I think to put the whole company to do something uncomfortable, it will be easy peasy.
Absolutely. We are digging deep into uncomfortable conversations and everything. Do you have one specific in mind that you can recall as a super uncomfortable conversation? And could you like give us an insight of how did you manage that and what was the result?
I maybe cannot recall anything which would be like super, super critical, but what I get mad about is when a person starts to be super afraid about his or her position, and then he or she doesn't want to listen to any arguments or any explanations. And then you are feeling like you are talking with, even not with the wall, but it's like you are asking or you are explaining, and then and there still is like huge. So when it's like the person is scarified, this is like that this is I find very uncomfortable. Because of this huge fear, the person becomes like aggressive or like something. So this is what I find super, super uncomfortable, because then I also turn into protective.
Have you managed this situation to a positive outcome, or you haven't until now? You can imagine just some random situation where the situation is turning into this, when you are feeling that you are 5 or 2 minutes away from this unreasonable person. What would be your go-to strategies or things that you could try to do to kind of navigate the conversation?
It's the only way is just somehow to stay calm. It's like the only way. Either it is, I don't know, breathing. Is it? I know, for example, okay, I know this one of these, what I've done sometimes when I knew that the negotiations will not be very easy, I sometimes take my dog.
An icebreaker, nice.
It is also not, okay, my dog, it is Labrador. So what he is doing, when I get a little bit, even if I don't feel yet that I am going emotional, he feels it. And he starts to beg for attention. So it means that this is my way how I try not to get myself into this. When someone is manipulating you, what they're trying to do is to put you in this kind of circle. So you are just turning you in. So, and you go into this emotional loop, and it's like, this is how, you go into this infinity of the emotions. When my dog is trying to get that attention for him, this is how you can break it. But of course, for other people, it can be, I don't know, some toys or something. I know that someone touched themselves. So again, how you get back to reality, because these emotions with manipulative person who is really afraid, they are so overwhelming that you lose the connection with reality, and then you cannot make normal decisions.
True.
So
Absolutely. We are coming to different kind of interesting hacks and everything. And we are now coming to one of my favorite questions of the day as well. We are facing different kind of situations. The schedules for ladies especially tend to get pretty crazy, especially if they have family at home, with kids, everything, dogs, cats, whatever. And then plus job and, the babies at work that you have to deal with. Sorry, teams and everything for the reference. How do you keep yourself productive? What do you do to keep you at your best game, even when you're feeling really down, like, for example?
I will be honest for everyone.
Please.
It's not easy. And I get really super mad when some women are saying like, there is that also who is helping with kids. There is, if you are a manager or top manager, you can afford yourself nannies and helpers. Because I always thinking, I'm coming from minority. I'm coming from the depressed region. I know what it is. And that's why when I talk about women, I always remember about women who made not maybe the breakthrough. They are by themselves, they are breaking all kind of stereotypes. And it means that when they are at the beginning and we want to be inclusive and we want to have more women in investments, in tech and everywhere.
Yes.
But it means that the problem is not today when you are already in top. And I'm sorry, if you are in top and you cannot manage your time and cannot afford nannies and everything, then it's something wrong. But the problem is that if you're already in top, it's some kind of the inclusion which like proves the rules. That's why we always have had 5 up to 10% of top managers women. So these statistics never change for decades. So it's everything fine. Fortunately, we are not in Palestine or something. But the problem is that the women who are starting, so what you do, what I have done, I was very open with my kid, with my ex-husband and with my workers, and that, for example, I explained to my kid, if I am very tired, then when I come home, everything should be clean. Otherwise, they will be angry, mom.
Yeah.
Because then I will be turning on like it's skyrocket. So, and when he was already almost a teenager, I even sometimes called him and said, I have had a very harsh conversation. I'm a little bit nervous. He said, no worries. So, and he knew that there should not be any dirty dishes because then it gives me space and time just to calm down and then I'm normal again. Again, we talked about the hard decisions. It means because I love the small teams, but again, even if you are working as a manager and I don't know, you have tens of people around you, like who you are directly somehow manage, you are still working with like 5 till 7 or 8 people directly,
Yes.
and the rest is like going like further. So again, what we talked about, the decision making, that if you include people, not pushing the decision to someone, but you include everyone into making the research and to looking for different options, which means that, again, if you want to delegate an extra work to some of your colleague, how you do it? It's not about making yourself a victim that, oh, you have so much work, please, why no one do it? No. It will never helps anyone. But if you make a discussion that you look, this is what you also can do. This is on my table, but maybe you want to try it. Maybe you can take this one because, for example, this not very pleasant, I don't know, decision making or negotiations or fundraising for the founders or something else, which is like no one very much like to do because it's not the easiest task. Then I will be more doing this, which means that we can gain so much benefits in future because this chunk of job no one can take over. It's again, you include people into understanding what are the procedures and you show that one or another task can be for their development, can be beneficial for one or another next decision and so on. So it's maybe more longer term because you really explain, but then you end up in the situation when people around you, if they value it, and this is how you should somehow end up or like be in your life, that you are surrounded by people who understands you. And it means that they know that, okay, this is some kind of shitty job where they really don't want to do, and you are okay to do it, but it means that they can do their part and everybody will be happy because no one wants to have a very nervous and anxious boss who is like shouting around. So why?
Absolutely. And yeah, you can delegate these works as an extra credit. Do this and it's
Yeah.
gonna make you better here or there. And at the end they will, at least again in this perfect world, they should become more motivated to ask for something more, like not being afraid. And then it wouldn't be like this asshole boss is dumping tasks on
Exactly.
us. It's like he's delegating us for us to grow, or he's taking something really painful off of my hands, and in exchange I don't sit back and like, oh, thank God I don't have to do anything anymore. But in exchange you're like, hey, since you took this off my hands, can I help you with something else? I can understand that in a startup ecosystem or in a new, let's say, business environment, you don't necessarily have the time to explain the newbies everything. But as you said, for the long game, that's always better, because once you make this investment once, maximum twice in this person, and let's take for the sake that they do understand what you are saying, right? You don't have to teach them again. Like, this is something that you can tick, and when the next task similar to this one comes, they will know what to do already, which means that you have spent 1 or 2 days once and you won't need to return back to this anymore.
Yes, and then we come back to the hiring, to the scouting for the talents, to the ability to understand with whom you want to be and with whom you want to work. What I learned, and this is like, I think, super, super crucial, I never ever talk with new people, or even when I'm thinking about investments, I never ever start to read the applications or talk with new founders when I don't feel myself good, because it means you don't have enough of resources to be adequate. It means that you can fall.
You mean physically?
Yes, it's like, okay, I maybe not very good in understanding my mental phases, but when I feel that, okay, I'm not very much in place with, maybe I'm tired, or again, maybe I'm frustrated or something, then I know it's not the best time when to make any kind of the scoutings, because I will be with foggy brain.
Yes.
And it's never ever worked well. Never ever. This I know for sure. All of my decisions when I've done it, this kind of leaps, or this, they were not decisions. They were someone pushed or someone said, yeah, you should. Then you can fall into the trap that someone, or
you do something that somebody wants you to.
Yeah, because you don't take your decisions. It's again, you take your responsibility. And if you are today are not about to make a decision, take the responsibility that this is the decision, that you don't make this decision today. And it's nothing to say, oh, I don't have enough of information. That no, it's just a decision that today you feel yourself bad. Then you go to sleep, you sleep your 8 hours, you wake up at 6, you sit down and you make a decision.
Absolutely.
So it's like, or I don't know, sometimes it doesn't work for me in our climate, but in summer, sometimes I just go out, fortunately I have a dog, so I always can take him, and I just make a couple of circles on the seaside, and then I'm fine. Or, for example, what I also learned, when you know that negotiations will be long-term because other side also don't want to make a decision, then I once made, it was a very critical decision. And it was, I don't remember, was it December or January? So it was like absolutely normal Estonian nasty weather. And I'm living on the seaside, so I went to make a decisions with my computer. It was minus already. It was some kind of, again, snow and storm. Blah. And I went out to the balcony to make all of the meetings, because I knew that if they will be, and I will be getting into this trap of the stretching out the time and again, no any decision, I will froze till death. So I went out and I've made all the decisions outside.
But I think this also works in a, not necessarily, well, kind of in a psychological sense, but I think that the same could apply. I mean, you put pranamat, this mattress, on the chair and you sit on it, right? So you won't be able to sit for half an hour, right? It's gonna get to your nerves at some point, right?
Wow.
This is something like as extreme, like you mentioned, going outside. It's about pushing your body into this discomfort situation and feeling, so that your brain actually becomes a lot more motivated. Please, dear people, don't
don't do it.
Don't go too crazy about this. This is like a last resort for really crucial situations, okay? So don't sit outside and freeze your fingers until you can't feel anything every day, right? That's not a status quo thing. That is for extreme occasions, right?
But it's again to be in the real world.
Exactly, right? So
it will not allow you to be into this, which again, manipulators, what they want to do, they want to drag you out of reality. They want to put you into the loop, and it seems like you were discussing, and then there is no decision again, and you are again, it's the same shit. No. This is only these options, yeah.
Yeah, so basically putting yourself into some crazy.
But the dog is very cool.
Yeah, true.
That time I haven't had the dog.
Cool. Right. So we are slowly coming to the last questions of today. I was curious. We are talking about the discomfort of life. Let's switch to a little bit positive and nice things. Like, what is something that you do for fun to relax and to actually feel good after a pretty crazy day? Maybe you have some books, movies, or podcasts that you can share with us that actually make you feel great, or maybe some food that you just crave in the evening. So yeah, could you share something like that with us?
I love life. So I love everything. Absolutely. So I'm drawing. But so it's again, all depends wherever you are, whatever you have opportunities, just again, I always love to do. I'm not very much into TV. So I'm unfortunately cannot say any suggest any films or something. I love films. I was even organizing the film festivals for 5 years in a row, and I love this. And I was as a producer, but I'm not into the TV series because I just again because I'm sitting so much while I'm working. So for me, just to be like behind the screen again, I don't like it.
True. Yeah.
It's just because of it. So that's why I like to draw or I go outside. I really enjoy ride the longboard. I love surfing.
Okay.
I love even driving the car. I love jazz music. I love theater. What I really think how I switch myself. I love to travel. So travel is my absolute and like
Pleasure in life.
you know when I feel myself upset, this is my recipe. You just buy the tickets to Italy.
Brilliant.
And you open them in your phone and you just tap yourself. Yes. So it's like a pills. But if you cannot go to Italy every week, you just read a book. And I love sky fiction because it means that you get to somewhere where you are not now.
Right? It's like traveling.
It's like a huge traveling. My latest book, what I'm still super fascinating is I read again the Terry Pratchett book, Nation. It's such a beautifully written book that I was again reading it only during the weekends, only on Sunday morning, because it is such a brilliant book that I didn't want it again to be finished. So, and then of course, all kind of the activities, what you can do with your beloved ones, they are always cool when you skateboarding is of course because of my son. I mean, I wanted to spend time with him, and this is honest that we do something with our team, what they like. If you want to understand them, you create the environment for them, or like you are okay to go into the environment to be with them. So you learn a lot, and the same you learn a lot when you are with your friends in their comfort zone. I like to travel from in thoughts, in real life,
Or in dreams sometimes.
in the dreams, yeah. And of course, just to sleep. This is also what I love. And to treat myself with wonderful food, which I really like also in Riga. You have Michelin restaurants here. I really love, and I love Riga. I love Riga Opera. So, and the beautiful city. So, super love everything.
Yeah. So, guys, if you have never been to our little Venice of Riga,
Please come.
yeah, don't hesitate to visit. Although I recommend to do it either in Christmas time when it's actually snowing or in summer. Otherwise, like Riga can tend to get a little bit gloomy as Tallinn as well. So,
But you don't need to be outside for a long time.
True. Right. So let's cut to the last question today. Like, we have hopefully a lot of young aspiring women listening to us. What would be your suggestion and go-to advice to somebody who is just starting out or thinking about doing something of their own?
Just do it. Just do it. Never ever, of course, ask for help, for support, for advice, but just do it. Do not leave it that, I don't know, if someone said, no, you will not succeed. Maybe not. And even if you do it the first time, I don't know, your company or something, yes, there is, in startups, only 1% of all the startups will survive on the 5th year. So it means that pretty sure you will not succeed, but you will learn so much.
Oh, yes. Definitely.
Then the next one will be better, and maybe 5th one will succeed and will be the next unicorn. So do not leave your life to live for someone. Just grab it and own it.
Oh, that's amazing. I think on this note, we're going to finalize our conversation today. Yeah. Ladies, if you don't feel like getting up from the chair right now and going and doing stuff, I don't know what else could help you. So thank you, Jana, so much for
Thank you very
being with
much.
us today. And as always, don't forget to subscribe. We have a new episode coming out every 2 weeks, and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. See you, dear boss babes. Bye.
Ciao, Gabe.
Okay, Boss Babes, that's our show with the amazing Jana Koska. We heard about her inspiring journey, the power of female support, and why it's key to embrace discomfort. Remember Jana's advice, just do it. So go out there and make it happen. Subscribe to Baltic Boss Babes for more, and follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram. Until next time, keep shining, Boss Babes.